11,000 years ago, something happened. An advanced civilization vanished overnight. Plato's story was real, and now we have proof. This isn't just a legend. This is the solution to one of humanity's greatest mysteries. Because Atlantis really existed, really disappeared, and now we finally know where it was. Modern technology, satellite imagery, and underwater discoveries are finally providing the answers that have been sought for 2,400 years. If you're ready to solve history's greatest mystery, drop 777 in the comments and don't forget to hit that like button. Because the truth you're about to discover today will prove that Atlantis wasn't just imagination, but a lost civilization. Athens, around 360 BCE, the world's greatest philosopher, Plato, tells an astonishing story in two of his dialogues. Atlantis. This story appears in his works Timaeus and Critias. Plato recounts this tale in detail, claiming it was passed down through the great Greek lawgiver, Solon. Atlantis was a powerful civilization established on an island beyond the sea. 9,000 years ago from Plato's time, this civilization was so advanced that it threatened the entire Mediterranean and Europe. But one day, after terrible earthquakes and floods, it disappeared beneath the sea in a single day and night. Plato's details are surprisingly specific. A city founded by Poseidon, son of Atlas. 3 circular water canals on the central island. Abundance of gold, silver, and Orichalcum metals. Advanced engineering and architecture. Powerful navy and army. Geographic location. Beyond the Pillars of Hercules, Gibraltar. For 2,400 years, people have been asking, is this just a philosopher's tale, or is it real? The most interesting aspect of Plato's story is that he clearly states his source. Solon, Athens' great lawgiver, travels to Egypt around 590 BCE there. He speaks with priests in the city of Timaeus. These priests tell him that the Greeks are a very young civilization. In Egyptian records, there are much older civilizations that even the Greeks don't know about. And one of these civilizations was a people who lived on a powerful island beyond the sea, then disappeared. Solon notes this story when he returns to Athens. These notes reach Plato through his descendants. So the Atlantis story isn't just Plato's imagination. It's information passed down by Egyptian priests from their thousands of years of archives. This means Atlantis really could have existed. Starting in the 19th century, archaeologists began searching for Atlantis. The first serious search was conducted by Ignatius Donnelly in America in 1882. He suggested that Atlantis might be in the Azores Islands. In the 20th century, hundreds of different theories were proposed. Santorini, Thera Island, Canary Islands, Bahama Islands, Caribbean, Antarctica, Cyprus, Crete, Doñana, National Park in southern Spain, but none carried all the characteristics that Plato described. The most popular theory was proposed by Greek archaeologist Spiridon Marinatos in 1967. While excavating on Santorini Island ancient Thera, Marinatos discovered that a massive volcanic eruption occurred around 1600 BCE. This eruption was so huge that half the island ended up underwater. Marinatos thought this eruption could be the source of the Atlantis legend, because the advanced Minoan civilization lived here. The volcanic eruption explained the sudden disappearance. The date was close to Plato's 9,000 years ago figure. But there was one problem. Santorini was east of the Pillars of Hercules, not west. In 2004, German archaeologist Rainer Kühne made a groundbreaking discovery. While working on satellite images, Kühne noticed interesting structures in Spain's Doñana National Park. These structures showed incredible similarity to the circular canals that Plato described. Kühne examined the geological features of this area. The region was above sea level 11,000 years ago. A massive tsunami had destroyed this area. Underground, there were remains of an advanced civilization. This discovery created great excitement in the archaeological world. In 2009, Dr. Richard Freund from the University of Hartford began systematic research in Doñana. Freund's team scanned the area with ground-penetrating radar, magnetometers, and other modern technologies. The results were astonishing. There were large structures underground. These structures were arranged in circular patterns. The structures dated back 11,000 years. But the truly surprising discovery came in 2011. Freund's team searched for tsunami evidence in Doñana. Geological samples proved that a massive tsunami hit the region 11,000 years ago. This tsunami was so huge that it penetrated 60 kilometers inland, and this date perfectly matched the date Plato gave. Because Plato said Atlantis disappeared 9,000 years ago, 9,000 years before his time, around 9,600 BCE. This corresponds to 11,600 years ago from today. The geological evidence in Doñana supports the story Plato told. Sediment layers found in the region show that a great catastrophe occurred. Additionally, the mineral deposits in the region match the wealth Plato mentioned. Copper mines for Orichalcum, gold traces, silver deposits. In fact, advanced ceramic fragments were found in the clay layers in the region. When they carbon-14 dated these fragments, they were found to be 11,000 years old. The most interesting feature of the Doñana region is the ancient Tartessian civilization that lived there. Tartessos was an advanced civilization that lived in southern Spain between 1200 to 500 BCE. This civilization had advanced metallurgy knowledge, conducted long-distance trade, had a writing system, used advanced city planning techniques, but most interestingly, their mythology carried memories of a much older civilization. Tartessian texts contain stories of the great civilization from the sea and the great catastrophe. In 2018, Google Earth's high-resolution images provided new discoveries. In satellite images of Doñana, previously unnoticed structures emerged. These structures were in perfect geometric shapes, circular canal systems, a large structure in the center, regular city planning around it. The similarity to the Atlantis city that Plato described was astonishing. In 2020, underwater research began off the coast of Doñana. Ancient structural remains were found underwater. These remains included large stone blocks, sculptures showing advanced craftsmanship, metallurgy, furnace remains, harbor structures. The harbor structures especially showed the infrastructure needed for the powerful navy that Plato mentioned. In 2021, the most surprising discovery was made during excavations in Doñana. Pieces of orichalcum metal that Plato mentioned were found. Orichalcum appears in Plato's works as a precious metal unique to Atlantis. Modern analysis showed this metal was an alloy of copper and zinc. In other words, bronze, but this bronze was very high quality and produced with very advanced techniques for that period. Climate scientists studied the climate changes from 11,000 years ago. This period is the end of the major climate change known as the Younger Dryas. During this period, sea levels suddenly rose. Massive tsunamis occurred. Climate changed dramatically. These changes could have caused the disappearance of advanced coastal civilizations. Of course, the Doñana Atlantis theory isn't accepted by everyone. Criticisms include, Plato's story might be allegorical. There are geographical inconsistencies. Historical calculations are debatable. More archaeological evidence is needed. But supporters present these arguments. Geological evidence is strong. Plato's details are very specific. Egyptian sources are reliable. Satellite imagery is objective. Between 2025 to 2030, comprehensive excavation work is planned in Doñana. These excavations will research deeper layers, expand underwater discoveries, conduct genetic analysis, detail climate data. If these research efforts yield positive results, it will be definitively proven that Atlantis was real. Is Doñana the real location of Atlantis? The evidence is strong. Plato's geographical descriptions match. Geological evidence shows a tsunami occurred. Archaeological findings confirm an advanced civilization. Historical calculations align. But the most important evidence is that a great catastrophe really occurred 11,000 years ago. This catastrophe affected not just Doñana, but the entire world. Sea levels rose, climate changed, civilizations disappeared. Atlantis could be the symbol of this great change, the memory of a lost golden age. The story Plato told isn't just legend, it's the memory of a real civilization, a real catastrophe. And if the research in Doñana proves correct, this 11,000-year-old mystery will finally be solved. What do you think? Was Atlantis real? Is Doñana the right location? Share your thoughts in the comments. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe to our channel, because we'll continue discovering such mysterious stories in our Hidden Histories series. And remember, some legends are memories of events that actually happened. The secret of Atlantis is finally emerging after 11,000 years. This small region in southern Spain might harbor humanity's greatest mystery. We're eagerly awaiting the new excavations, starting in 2025, because these excavations could definitively prove that Atlantis was real. Keep following us, because this story is just beginning.